Hey y'all, Wild's Witness here. How's it going? I hope everyone's having a blessed evening. And I just want to come on here and talk about the state of men and how it seems to be that men have fallen. They're in a fallen state, and that I believe the reason for this is a lack of purpose for men today. And some of the main reasons we have, or some of the main things for main ways for men to have purpose is first and foremost committing himself to God and having a relationship with God and finding God and making his purpose by serving God in his ways. That'd be the number one thing that would help men find their purpose in life today. Another way, I think, is that he finds himself a wife and starts himself a family. And that way he can lead his family. And God and family go well together. But it's not necessary, if you have God. Many men will stay with God and have no need for a family because everyone that is of God is his family. And another way, a lot of men like to find their purpose is in their career. And I don't personally think that path will lead to the man being truly fulfilled in his life, because his spirit will be lacking and will not carry him anywhere past this life. So with God, you build up your treasure in heaven, and for the next life, the heaven, the spiritual life, because we're all spiritual beings and living in this flesh. And your legacy is carried on through God's spirit moving through others. And with a family, your legacy is carried on through your kids. But in a career, you could have a legacy through your career, but for that to happen, you need to have a good big business, but even then it won't be the same, because you'll be lacking spiritually if that's all you have is your career. And then when you die, you don't get to take that treasure with you. It'll just go on to the next person who takes over for your business. And with the society now, it seems society has left God behind, giving men no incentive to start a family, create a family. We have men working without purpose, wandering. And some of the things that we got going on, like with crime and social media, you got all these men that don't have a purpose, and then even your basic urges can just be satisfied by getting on a computer and getting on social media. You can socialize, talk to your girls, and then you got the prawn. So we got to get men away from those things. I mean, social media can have its benefits, but men need to be out there socializing in person. Not just men, women, the people in general. The kids growing up today aren't, I don't know how to say it, but they're all very socially awkward compared to somebody my age that grew up. And I wasn't I was into Pokemon and all. I wasn't even one of the what we call preps. I was hanging out with more of the goth kids, and I was a little bit socially awkward even in my time. But I look at the kids today and I'm like, well, I got it going on compared to them back, if you compare me to them today. And times are different. I get that. But we gotta get away from the computer and the phones a little bit more. You go in a restaurant and a family's sitting down and everybody's on their phone. It's what yeah. So, and then we go tell women that they can be equal to a man, and then you get women out of their natural roles that are made by God. And it's clear to see everything in this life has a role to play to keep the body of God healthy and the machine running. Because we're all the body of God. We make up God, and Christ is the head of that body. Anyway, so when you get men and women out of their natural roles, and it's making the body sick, we got to get it back healthy. I mean, it's gonna happen. That's why we got the Bible. I mean, we can see what's gonna happen in the end. It's gonna come back one way or another, right? And we tell everybody you can be what you want to be. I was always told that growing up. You can be whatever you want to be. It's a nice thing to hear, but I don't think it's necessarily true. Well, I know it's not. Even to the extent they tell, if you're born a man, you could be a woman. If you feel like that. Like, no, you can't. If you're born a man, you're a man. If you're born a woman, you're a woman. It's very basic. It's not hard. It doesn't take a whole bunch of understanding. So, and this is the reason we have these groups popping up, trying to fill what's missing, this little void that we got with men, and say women too. Like the red pill, blue pill, people like Tate growing popular with the young men looking for purpose to life, because there's a need for something there. There's a need for something to fill that void. But we must look at these people trying to fill these voids. Most of them are there, and they're not there for the right reasons. They're there for themselves because they saw the need for something that was missing and can capitalize off of your lack of it, or our lack of it, whoever, And like Tate, he's got a lot of good things that he'll say, and I can't disagree with him. But then one of the main things he's talking about is money. And man needs money. But that's not gonna, that could satisfy some of your urges, fleshly urges, but that's going to be leaving you lacking spiritually. And it's not, life's not about money. It's not about money. It's just, it can be a tool to be used, but it's not what you should devote yourself to. You should devote yourself to God. They say glory, the glory of God is Christ. So, in that sense, the glory of Christ would be man, and the glory of man is his wife. And we need that order. We need that order. We need that structure. We need everybody to play the roles here that they're supposed to play if we want anything to get better. We can't keep telling everybody they can go be what they want. You can do what you want. You can be a man. You can be a woman. Drugs are good for you. Because back in my day, you got all these psychedelics now, mushrooms. They're pushing that and putting you into an altered state of consciousness, but it's taking you away from God, really, because God is not in that altered state of consciousness. Some people might think they see God there, but that's not where he is. God's here now, always where you're at in your life, working, whether you want to see it or not. But anyway, so like I said, you can tell he's all about the money, and he talks about men needing money, and that negates any gift that may be given that seems good from him. And then you got just pearly things filling the spot for the red-pilled women, and it all seems so orchestrated sometimes that even when it comes to the other side of the view, you got, because they need the other side to disagree. If there wasn't any disagreement, then the machine would stop working, and it's kind of like Big Pharma. If no one was sick, then there'd be no business for them. So these people in these communities, they need the other side there to argue with them and disagree with them. And we must learn to keep our doors, this is the main thing, open to God. Because that is where it ends and begins with God. And so this is my word to men out there. Even if you can disbelief in him, I think you should always keep the door open to the possibility that God is there. And we must keep ourselves from falling into the traps of social media, mainstream media, and we must want more than what this society has given us. But we need obedience to God first. And as a younger man, I would always say I didn't believe in God, and when I think back on it, I find myself blaming God for all the things that I felt went wrong in my life. And now I see I always did believe, but I was angry with God. So in reaction, I would claim atheist. That was when I was younger, when I was a teenager. Maybe a little bit. No, yeah. I don't remember exactly when I got saved. It was, my brother opened my eyes to that. But I do realize that we fight the same battle, but it's in different ways. We're not all the same. Not one person is the same. But let's say you truly do not believe in God. I would say by closing yourself off to that possibility, you're shutting the door on him. So in turn, he can't show you his work in you. And then by shutting that door, you're opening the door to Satan. So please, can we leave the door open to the possibility that God is here with you right now? I think this is the most important step for men to get better. And I want to see men strive to be the best they can be. I do it every day. I'm not perfect. But I love God with all my heart. And with that, he takes care of my family. And the love I have for my family comes through him. I wish y'all all a blessed day and peace and blessings, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Thank y'all.